Today, I'd like to talk about leadership because leadership is a concern not only in organizations, but in the world today. The first thing I want to say about leadership is the importance of clarity of structure. So one day I was speaking at a conference, and the grandson of the owner of a business comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I loved the way you spoke. Would you be willing to come to us?" So he flew me out. He chauffeured me to a very expensive restaurant and started telling me about the various incidents they had as leaders within their family business. And he told me about the good things, the growth of the company, the expansion internationally, the beauty of the product they make. And on the other hand, he spoke of incest, of robbery, of betrayal, of the falling apart of the family during this whole process. And he actually ended up by telling me, "Look, they've asked me to be the successor of my grandfather, but I'm not sure I want to take this over. Do I want to belong to this community? And do I want to take over the responsibility and accountability of all of this?" What his literal words was, "Doctor, do you think we can be cured?" And I had to think about that because when you work as a team coach or a business consultant, curing is on your mind, but perhaps not in the way that he thought. So the way I think about cure in a family business like this is the starting point is clarity of structure first, then clarity of relationship, and then what kind of culture do we want to set up to work together? So let's start with clarity of structure in this case. One of the first things I asked him to do before I decided to take on the business was to take on the business of coaching was, can I see your organigram? Can I see a picture of how the structure of your business is? And he gave me an organigram, and I said to him, "Okay, so explain this to me." And he said, "Well, look, we have a headquarters here, and this is the London office." And I looked, store manager, 3 employees. Okay. Then I looked at Hanover, and he said, "Oh yeah, we have a business here as well." Looked at the picture, store manager, 3 employees, etc., etc. And then we looked at Dubai, and I looked, and it said 2 store managers, 3 employees. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you know what's going on here?" And he said, "Well, look, one store manager is for real, and the other store manager is in a relationship with my father, but we didn't know where to put her, so we put her there." Now, you may laugh at this, but in my world of business coaching, this is a really significant thing to do. So if people mix the personal level of constructing a business with the structural, the real formal level of constructing a business, then invariably it shows something about the dynamics in the company. We mix personal and formal, and that means some people are favorites and others aren't. But it also means something to all the rest of the people in the company who are clear about who they are and where they are, but who see an example of someone who's an exception. One of the things I teach leaders in a family business, well, there's 2 important things. One is the importance of separating the shareholder relationship with the family relationship and the management relationship. So that's where we started in this company as well. Your shareholders together with a certain variation in the amount of shares. How are you going to manage that as a shareholder leadership group? You have a managerial relationship with each other because a lot of family members were also managers. How are you going to manage that? And there is the level of uh, you are also family members with relationships. How are you going to manage that? In this case, the most important intervention I could do at this early stage of our relationship was to clarify the structure, the formal structure, and to teach the family the importance of equidistance. Treat everyone the same, and everyone will treat you the same. And that calms down a system and makes it possible to manage.